Hello, hope you're doing well and having a good day. If you're new to my channel, my name is Hutch and I like to build in The Sims 4. And I recently built this cute little cottage and yeah, I'm really happy with it. Not to be too big-headed or anything like that, but this is probably my favourite build that I've done on my channel. Probably ever actually. I built another cottage for the first time recently and was inspired by cottages found in the English countryside. And this one is kind of inspired by those types of cottages. But you could find these types of homes anywhere really. It's built on a 40 by 30 lot, and as you can tell from the thumbnail it has a lot of landscaping. In fact, it has so much landscaping that I had to cut quite a lot of it out because altogether it took me nearly 5 hours to do. The house itself took me about half an hour to build and do the shell and the floor plan and decide on what kind of shape I wanted. But the landscaping, it took so long. There was no way that I could include all of the footage. In fact, I don't even think I recorded all of it because I knew it would just be way too much. But I showed a decent amount of it, how I put it together, all of that. What I imagined was like a secret garden type thing or a private garden. But I knew I wanted lots of flowers and plants and, making it seem like it's hidden away from the Sims' perspective. I know obviously gameplay doesn't really work like that and the Sims will find the house just fine, but that's kind of what I imagined. Just that, it was like a small cottage on a country road somewhere with like a private space for the Sims to live. You could move in any type of Sim here, but I did build it for like an elderly couple and their 2 golden retrievers. I wanted a decent space for the dogs to play, but also lots of activities for the Sims to do, in their retirement. So they have a decent sized vegetable patch where they grow their own veg and herbs, or maybe they could grow flowers. There's also a flower arranging table, an outdoor eating area, and there's a knitting room as well. You could even add more things outside if you wanted to. I included monkey bars as well because the Sims that live here in my game have a grandchild on the way, and of course their house is pet friendly and stuff, so there's pet toys outside and a lot of space for the pets to move around and play outdoors. You'll definitely need to place the house with move objects cheat on as well, but it's fully play tested. There should be no issues with your Sims getting around. I really wanted to use those vines from Get Together, but I was already planning on using cats and dogs and seasons for this build, so I didn't want to use too many packs, especially not too many expansion packs. But this house uses items from cats and dogs, seasons like I said, and Nifty knitting, as well as stuff from Romantic Garden stuff pack as well. I couldn't resist using the landscaping items from that pack. They just fit the build too well. But if you don't have that pack, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. You could just replace the fence that goes around the lot and the missing plants. I also used the Island Living, the thatched roof that comes with that pack, but you could always replace it with a different roof if you wanted. It's not totally necessary. But yeah, it's the only thing that I used from Island Living is the roof. I realised in the renovation build I uploaded to the gallery as well, if you watched that video or if you've seen it on the gallery, it was saying that it was modded, so the gallery flagged it as a modded build or modded content, even though it wasn't. And I realised it was because of the photos I forgot to take out. So sometimes when you take photos and then you put them in a build, the game can recognise CC or mods, and sometimes it detects mods even if you're not using any. So say if you had CC hair and you posted a photo in the gallery, say if it was in a build, the game recognises that that's got CC. But it can do it even if you're not using custom content or mods or anything like that. I don't use CC, I didn't in that build anyway. I do use the custom eyelashes, the cottagecore ones, but they weren't in that build. Obviously they weren't on The Sims, so yeah, I'm not really sure why it did that. I do use MC Command Center, but I don't know why it was flagging it as custom content on the gallery. But yeah, it is a bit glitchy, so even if you like disable your mods in your CC, it can still say it contains like modded content. I like adding family photographs to the screenshots and stuff, as I think it's just like a good way of showing what you can do with your build, or give you an idea of what Sims could live there. But with my last build, it just didn't upload to the gallery properly, so I've removed that build from the gallery. I took the photos out of the house and then I just re-uploaded it. So if you want to get the renovated version of that base game starter, even though it's not a starter anymore, yeah, that should be fine to download. So yeah, I'm just adding the landscape in here, and you can already see there's quite a lot going down. I wanted a pathway leading up to the cottage, and I did kind of want it to be downhill, but I'm not confident enough to use the terrain tools, really. Not the terrain manipulation ones anyway, where you like raise or lower the ground. I've never messed with that stuff in any Sims game before, just because I just don't really have like the patience for it. It never works out what I imagine. It just doesn't look right. It's one thing to place a lot of plants and build like custom hedges and stuff, and like all the flower beds, but terrain manipulation, yeah, that's a whole other thing. I am really impressed by some people that use it though and actually have nice looking builds, but I think I just need way more practice for that. Yeah, maybe having all this landscaping as well as like altering the terrain would have been a bit too ambitious. Maybe another time, because I would like to have a build where it's like on a hill or something like that. So this hedge wall or flower wall, whatever you want to call it, probably took the longest out of everything. I didn't record the other side because I'd already been building for probably about an hour at this point. But you get the overall idea how I did it. Essentially I just repeat this like technique on the rest of the build, make sure there's like hedges on the lower part of the wall, and then just like resize, reposition, and yeah, make sure that I put the like lower hedges, make sure that they're placed so that they act as a wall, to stop Sims like getting stuck, because sometimes when you resize plants and use move objects to like push them around the grid, it can get a bit like problematic with rooting and stuff like that, which is obviously it's how like your Sims get around when they move from one place to the next. Yeah, when I was playtesting, the dogs also tried to walk through the gaps, so I had to extend the wall, add some more plants to block them a little bit, and yeah, using an actual wall helps section that part off of the garden as well. So yeah, they should be able to get through it now as I've altered it a bit more. And you can see my playtesting sim there as well. I brought her in to make sure everything was working alright with this flower wall thing. I don't always make families to test my builds. Sometimes I'll just build a house, record the video, put it on the gallery, and then it's done. But if I want to do like live screenshots, I tend to think of what type of family would live there rather than just like a random sim walking around, which is what I've done for like the last few videos since that A-frame cabin that I did actually a few weeks ago. Yeah, I think that was the first time that I did screenshots like that. I really enjoy making them, but it's a lot of additional time and effort, so I don't do it for every single video. But I think it adds like a nice touch and also gives me more time to actually play The Sims, because aside from like building, I haven't really played it that much lately. I've just been focusing on other games. Like I said, recently I've been playing Destiny 2 with my friends. Got back into Animal Crossing again, Stardew Valley. There's just not enough time for everything, unfortunately. Especially when I've got like, day-to-day life, homeschooling, all that kind of stuff. But I want to play with this family a lot now, because they are really nice. You'll see them at the end in the screenshots, but they made me kind of want to play with elders a little bit more. They're so sweet and kind of remind me of my own grandparents in a way. The female sim is a retired florist and the male sim is a retired manual labourer, and in their retirement their only daughter moved out, so they decided to adopt 2 golden retrievers, and they also have a grandchild on the way, and they have a really good relationship with the daughter, and they're just a sweet family really, and I can't wait to play with them a little bit more. and have them, you know, interact with the grandchild as they get older, because they seem like Sims that would really love having like just like young life kind of put back into the house again, really, and have a little one running around and that. So I'm on with the private garden now. It's not really like a proper private garden. Obviously if you invite guests round, then they'll just go in the garden and play as normal, but I mean, you know, it's more out of the way. I added some vegetables and herbs to the vegetable patch as well. I think out of the ones I added, some of them are out of season in terms of gameplay, so some are like from fall, some are from spring, and some are from summer, I think. But yeah, they're mainly there just to show off the garden a bit more. You can add like any plants you wanted, really. I just imagine that both Sims really enjoy gardening and growing their own veg, and the elder male Sim, he really enjoys fishing as well, like my own granddad did a bit. So yeah, he likes to catch fish, and it's not like they're fully like self-sufficient or anything like that. I just imagine that this was like their dream when they were younger, to one day like grow their own food and live in a nice cottage in Windenburg. Of course you can place the lot anywhere on a 40 by 30 lot. It doesn't have to be Windenburg, but for my own like storytelling purposes, that's what I wanted to do. I added that wishing well from Romantic Garden stuff as well. I've never really like used that or thought to use it, but I just thought that it fit the house quite nicely. But I kind of imagined that one day maybe the grandchild that they have on the way would come to visit, and their curiosity would get the better of them, and they'd be like, oh, what's this in Nana and Granddad's garden? And you know, like it'd be like that, one of those things that's at your grandparents' house that you always wonder why they have it. Because I think a lot of people can relate to stuff like that. When I was little, there was just something about going to my grandparents' house and playing in the garden, and it was like this extra special thing, because they had like a greenhouse and a bird bath, and they had like flower baskets and plant pots everywhere, and like little ornaments and stuff. And I used to think it was just like the best thing ever. And then there's just something about visiting your grandparents that brings a lot of joy as a kid. And I added the wishing well as a little like nod to that like nostalgia type thing. And have a bit of mystery as well, because when I was little, like my granddad would always warn me to stay away from the greenhouse and not go near the shed, and I always wondered why. Obviously those things can be like dangerous to kids, and you don't always like realise, but it was always interesting to me, and I was always really curious and wanted to see like why can't I go in the shed and go inside the greenhouse, why can't I look? So I'm building the interior now, and for the entrance I did this like drop down interior porch type thing, because I've seen them quite a lot in cottages, or if you look up pictures of cottages, they have this like concrete stone floor entrance thing. You get them a lot in like farmhouse builds as well, and I thought with them having dogs, they'd want this like space to dry off the dogs if they ever went for like a walk in the rain. Obviously the Sims don't actually do that, but I thought it was like a nice thing to add. Little area to take shoes off or muddy boots from being outside. Yeah, and I didn't want too much going on in this bit, as it's just like a little entrance, but that's the sort of thing that I had in mind. Little place to hang your coat as well, and some flowers that I imagine that they were grown in the garden, and not forgetting a little ottoman so the Sims can put the shoes on and off easily, because even though they don't actually do that in the game, you know, when you get a bit older sometimes you need to sit down to get your shoes on. I'm in my 20s and I could do the little ottoman near my door to get my shoes on and off. So I don't normally include footage of me doing the bathroom and that, but I decided to leave it in just because there's not that many rooms to furnish in this house, so I thought I might as well leave it in this time. There's nothing too special about it, just your standard bathroom really, but I added a little shelf to the bath, and I'm not 100% sure what they're called. I guess it's just a wood bath shelf, or a bath caddy I suppose. Yeah, I saw someone on, that I follow on Instagram do a little tutorial on how to put one on the bath. They're called Bear and Bun on Instagram, so yeah, thank you to them for sharing that little tutorial. I did have to build a wall to place it, and had to mess around with the placement when like play testing, but yeah, I think it looks really cute. Your Sims do stand through it though when they get in the bath, but when they're actually sat down it looks completely fine, like it looks like it's meant to be there. I haven't tried it when bathing the dogs though, so yeah, I forgot to check that actually, so I'm not 100% sure if it works with pets, but yeah, it should do. I'm not really one for doing too much in bathrooms, that's why I don't really record them. I did a video where I renovated an apartment, and the bathrooms in that are quite nice and a bit like more than what I'd usually do. I don't usually do anything like too interesting with them because the Sims aren't in there for that long, so I don't really see the point. But I have seen some really nice bathrooms on Instagram where like people have uploaded reels or pictures, so yeah, it can be done where they can look a bit better than just like the basic ones that I do. I think I changed the door colours and the flooring after I decorated the bathroom, or the bedroom, sorry. And yeah, I just felt the light wood was just a bit too much, like, because I wanted like a light kitchen, like white wood, and I thought having a darker wood tone would just suit it a little bit better. So yeah, having like light flooring, light kitchen, light furniture, I just thought it's just a bit, I don't know, it's not the style that I wanted for this house, having it too bright and light. So the bedroom is pretty basic too. I include a little ottoman for one of the dogs to sleep on. And I can't remember if big dogs can fit on the armchairs. I don't think that they can, but I guess it doesn't really matter. There's plenty of places for them to sleep. Of course, if you download this build and you don't want dogs and cats or pets, like I said, you can always remove the ottoman if you wanted to, or not. It's entirely up to you. I also imagine that the Sims would sit on it while they like get the sleepwear on or while they get dressed. Even though they don't actually do that. Yeah, I know when I'm getting dressed I like to sit down to like put trousers or pyjama bottoms on, but obviously the Sims they're happy to just spin on the spot, so yeah. Also, happy Valentine's Day or Happy Love Day if you celebrate it. I personally don't have that much interest in it, but if you celebrate it then, you know, that's great. I know this year Valentine's Day is a little bit different than usual, like every celebration is. Well, I guess there's some people it will be. To me, it's not that different because usually I just stay home anyway. But my partner got me like a card and some plants, and I didn't get them anything because I just didn't think to. But yeah, I don't need any more plants, but yeah, why not? I think I've accidentally killed some of the ones I have actually. I don't know what's happened. I take pretty good care of my plants. Some of them I've had for years, and there's two in particular that pretty annoyed with me right now. I don't know what's happened. I think maybe I've watered them too soon. Over the winter you don't really need to water many of your indoor plants as often. Some of them don't like to be watered at all really, more than once a month or maybe all winter. But it had been so long since watering some of them, I think I just panicked a little bit. Even though there were no signs of any problems, there were no wilting, no issues at all really. And I've just given in, watered them a bit, and now they're a bit mad, so I'm not sure if it's that, but yeah, I don't know if they're going to die or not, so I just asked my partner to get me a Monstera or a Swiss cheese plant. As my current one, it's been on its like last few leaves for about a year, probably 2 years now. I don't know what's keeping it going, but recently it's like it started to turn yellow and it's wilted quite a lot. I've tried so hard keeping it alive. That's my second one that I've had as well. Yeah, they're meant to be easy to take care of, but I'm just not good with them. Those plants in particular anyway. I'm not like the most knowledgeable and like best plant owner ever, but I can keep them alive. I know like how often to water them and repot them and what to do generally. I have like books and stuff on how to take care of certain plants, and I always buy from the right places. See, I'm not really sure what I've done wrong with these particular ones. I've checked for pests, made sure the roots look okay. So yeah, I don't know, but rest in peace to my plants. You will be very much missed until I get new ones, and then, yeah. So I'm built in the kitchen and living area now, and the kitchen's pretty basic. It's not, not too much going on. I put some dog treats on the counters in a little bit and decorate the shelves. But yeah, I just wanted a simple kitchen, nice comfy living space in front of the fire. It took me absolutely ages to figure out what I wanted for that little sitting area. I messed around with like different chairs and love seats for ages because it's a bit of an awkward space, isn't it? It's like small, the floor plan isn't one of the best. I don't know. But I think it's just because so much attention went into the garden that I think when it came to building the house I was a bit like, I don't know, like running out of ideas. I also imagine that these Sims will spend like most time outdoors anyway, so they just want somewhere to warm up and sit down inside, really, read a book, that sort of thing. Maybe have a chat at the end of the day. I also made that little knitting room as well. I haven't really played with Nifty knitting or really used any of the items from the pack since I got it, really. And that was quite a while ago, so yeah, I thought the items would suit the cottage quite a bit. I don't know, I just wish the swatches were a bit more versatile because they're quite unique. They don't really match anything else in the game. Maybe not best pairing it with seasons and cats and dogs, but I think I did okay with the swatches that I used. I think what the Sims team really need to do is make like the wood swatches that are available in the game on stuff that's already like in the game, make them available on all the items that are obviously that if it's made of wood, because it's quite restrictive when you want to like use a certain item but it looks out of place. Like the stuff from cats and dogs looks really good and it suits the cottage vibe and stuff like that, but you know, it goes with a lot of stuff, even though the swatches aren't always like bang on, but it has those like basic, like the light wood, medium tone wood, the black, white sort of thing. It has those swatches there, and then like its own like unique variants and stuff. So I feel like I can match that quite easily. But then there's some packs that aren't like that. And as much as I like new swatches and new variants of things, it would be nice to, you know, just be able to match things easier. So yeah, I think just having those basic wood swatches on everything would be nice. Of course, that would be like a massive update that they'd have to do, but I reckon it would be doable. So yeah, this is kind of where I figure out what I want for the layout of this living space. I think I was just overthinking it, and in the end I'll just go with two, you know, simple armchairs, side table set up, because there's two Sims that live here, so they don't need loads of seating areas. And there's a love seat in the next room, there's outdoor seating areas, and if they want to have like visitors and stuff, they don't all need to be sat in one space. So yeah, I just simplify it, and I think I forgot to add another ottoman as well for the dogs, but I'll add that before I post it to the gallery. I know not everyone likes having pets on the furniture like in real life, but in this case these Sims do. And yeah, if you want pets, you can always, if you don't want pets, you can always just have visitors sit on the ottoman. I mean, the Sims don't mind. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like if you did. My gallery ID is in the description if you'd like to download this build, as well as my Instagram if you want to check that out. Subscribe if you haven't already, if you want to see more. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!